How I wish we had a new one. I also forgot that Puta needs a laptop for his schoolwork. It's been some time since we went shopping.
It's now zero.
What? Is everything over?
No. When you buy with the People's Credit Card, the interest is zero.
Buy anything you please with a People's Credit Card from selected outlets and pay it off within 36 months with zero interest. Offer valid till December 31st at selected outlets. More details at www.peoplesbank.lk.
In a few moments, the news.
Buy anything you please with a People's Credit Card from selected outlets with zero interest.
This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The time is 6:15. Here's the news, edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe, read by Victor Raj. First, take a look at the headlines of the local news. The President says special attention should be paid to protect those who are infected with non-communicable diseases from COVID-19. The Committee on Parliamentary Business decides upon a 19-day debate for the Appropriation Bill 2021. Sri Lanka and India sign a Memorandum of Understanding for community development projects. A special hospital to treat infectious disease established in the northern province. Foreign news, Russia says its Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccine is 92% effective. Sports news, West Indies players unable to train in New Zealand after breaching quarantine regulations. Local news in detail. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says that special attention should be paid to save those who are infected with non-communicable diseases from COVID-19. The reason for 90% of deaths recorded from the island and other countries is non-communicable diseases. Heart, kidney, diabetes, and cancer patients are vulnerable to COVID-19. Many of them have died without showing any symptoms. They were found to be corona patients through PCR tests conducted later. The President mentioned this when the COVID task force met today at the Presidential Secretariat. Lengthy discussions took place on the President's situation of spread of COVID-19 and its controlling future viral diseases, measures to be taken to protect public health, and the areas to be studied. The President emphasized the need to make regional dispensaries fully functional. He said that those who are involved in distributing goods in isolated areas should be continuously monitored to make certain that they follow correct methods. The President said no one should be allowed to enter or leave those areas. The President also said that steps should be taken to prevent traveling from Western Province where there is a high number of infections to other areas. The Committee on Parliamentary Business had decided upon a 19-day debate for the Appropriation Bill 2021 after presenting it in Parliament on 17th of this month. Secretary-General of Parliament, Mr. Dhammika Dasanayake, said that second reading of the Appropriation Bill will be debated from the 18th to 21st and the vote on the second reading will be taken on the 21st at 5 p.m. The debate of the committee stage will commence on the 23rd November and is scheduled to conclude on 10th of December. The vote will be taken at 5 p.m. on the same day. The Committee on Parliamentary Business took this decision at the committee meeting held at Parliament this morning under the chairmanship of Speaker Mahindayapa Abeyewardena. The Parliament sittings will be held daily from 9:30 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. on the dates scheduled for the budget debate. The time allotted for question or oral answers will be from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. on the 18th of November until the 20th. Time duration for the questions for oral and answers from the 25th of November to the 10th of December will be from 9:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. At the request of the Chief Opposition Whip Lakshman Kiriella, the Committee on Parliamentary Business decided to convene the Parliament on Friday in order to debate an adjournment motion moved by the opposition. Accordingly, only the second reading and the committee stage debate on the Appropriation Bill 2020 will be held tomorrow. The debate on the 2020 Appropriation Bill will be held from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. tomorrow without lunch break. The Communication Department of the Parliament said the debate on the adjournment motion moved by the opposition will be held from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Friday. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Buy anything you please with a People's Credit Card from selected outlets with zero interest.
Continuing with more local news, Sri Lanka and India signed the Memorandum of Understanding for Community Development Projects implemented in the island to the tune of 600 million rupees. The Prime Minister's media said the cost of special development projects related to this agreement exceeds 300 million rupees. It said the emergency hospital care ambulance service, housing projects and the new Jaffna Cultural Centre are implemented through this fund. Another 300 million rupees will be spent on small-scale development projects including resettlement, housing, livelihood, employment, women empowerment, vocational training, hospital infrastructure development and medical equipment supply. The MOU was initially signed in 2005 during the presidential term of the Prime Minister Rajapaksa and it was subsequently extended every 5 years. Secretary to the Ministry of Finance S.R. Artigal and High Commissioner of India to Sri Lanka Gopal Bagle signed the MOU yesterday in the presence of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa at his official residence in Vijayarama. The renovations to the Digavapia Stupa in the eastern province commenced today. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa was present on the occasion. Delivering an Anushasana, Chief Prelate of the Digavapia Rajamahaviharaya, Venerable Maha-Oya Sobita Thera said that when the Prime Minister was President, he developed North and East where development was paralyzed due to then war situation. A special hospital to treat infectious disease has been established in the northern province. It was visited by the public today at Krishnapuram in the Kilinochchi. The hospital has been built with 200 beds. It is equipped with separate rooms to keep patients with infectious disease and a modern ward complex. The Health Ministry Pre-COVID Preparedness and Response Project has spent 90 million rupees on the project. Project Director Dr. Jayasundara Bandara and Girinochchi Government Agent Rupavati Ketsavaran were present at the opening of the hospital. Nuwara District Secretary Rohana Pushpakumara has requested the people in the estate sector to celebrate Deepavali festival, which falls on Saturday at homes. He pointed out that 50 COVID patients were found from the Nuwara district and 40 of them from the estate sector. The district secretary said that he requested Hindu priests to conduct religious rituals at Kobis with a limited number of people. That came to you in local news.
Buy anything you please with a People's Credit Card from selected outlets and pay it off within 36 months with zero interest. More details at www.peoplesbank.lk.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main
story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The total number of coronavirus recoveries reported in the country crossed the 10,000 mark today as 646 individuals infected with COVID-19 were discharged from hospitals after recovering from the virus. It brings the total number of novel coronavirus recoveries reported in the country to 10,183. Sri Lanka's confirmed cases stands at 14,715. The epidemiology unit says 4,491 of them are still under medical care. Meanwhile, 3 coronavirus-related deaths were reported today, increasing the number to 44.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Moving on to Watchlight, police media spokesperson says civil security officers will be deployed to assist the resumption of the operations at the Manning Market next week. DI Jadit Rohan said the authorities have decided to deploy nearly 100 civil security officers to help with the distribution activities at the marketplace until the return of laborers. That came to you in Watchlight. Moving on to world news, let's take a look at the headlines. Russia says its Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccine is 92% effective. Hong Kong pro-democracy, lawmakers resign. China clamps down on internet giants. World news in detail. Russia's Sputnik V vaccine is 92% effective at protecting people from COVID-19 according to interim trial results, the country's sovereign wealth fund said today, as Moscow rushes to keep pace with Western drug makers in the race for a shot. The initial results are only the second to be published from the late-stage human trial in the global efforts to produce vaccines. All of Hong Kong's pro-democracy lawmakers have resigned after 4 of their colleagues were disqualified. Beijing passed a resolution today allowing the city's government to disqualify politicians deemed a threat to the national security. Shortly afterwards, Hong Kong Democratic Party chairman Wu Chai-wai told reporters that they would all leave the city's legislature. China has proposed new regulations aimed at curbing the power of its biggest internet companies. The regulations suggest increasing unease in Beijing with the governing influence of the digital platforms. The new rules could affect homegrown tech giants like Alibaba, Ant Group and Tencent, as well as food delivery platform Meituan. The move comes as the EU and the US are also seeking to curb the power of internet giants. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern has plans in place for her wedding, but hasn't set a date yet. She said today they have some plans, but they were some way off. Ardern, aged 40, is engaged a television host Clark Gayford, aged 44, and they have a 2-year-old daughter. Ardern has won global acclaim for her decisive response to COVID-19. To bring to an end the world news segment, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Russia says its Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccine is 92% effective. Hong Kong pro-democracy lawmakers resign. China clamps down on internet giants. That ends world news.
Development News is brought to you by...
When Aya bought a motorbike, he bought 2 helmets. So sweet of him. I'm sure the other one is for me.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker, super kiyanne nikan neve.
A new bridge would be constructed across the Rajagiri-Narvala canal at the cost of 1.6 billion rupees. The Government Information Department said the new bridge would be built across Rajagiri-Narvala canal, connecting Angampeti Road to Athulkote and School Lane, Rajagiri at Narvala. The proposal submitted by Minister Johnston Fernando was approved by the Cabinet yesterday.
When Tati bought a new family car, it wasn't just for the four of us.
It's a 10-seater van. Enough for friends and relatives too.
Mummy insisted on building an extra room in our new house.
Well, you never know who'll come to stay. We need more pillows too.
When I was studying late, Nangi would come by to help.
No, I don't know physics, but I do know you need a Munchie Super Cream Cracker.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others.
When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves.
Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan neve.
Moving on to sports news, West Indies players have been banned from training and confined to their hotel rooms in New Zealand after breaching quarantine regulations. Security footage from the team's hotel in Christchurch showed players sharing food and socializing outside of their smaller biosecure bubbles. The team had been granted a special dispensation to train during their mandatory 14-day isolation period. That period will end on Friday, providing they all test negative for COVID-19. Members of the West Indies squad who have been playing in the Indian Premier League are scheduled to arrive in New Zealand tomorrow and will also have to isolate for 14 days. West Indies play 3 T20 internationals and 2 test matches on their tour of New Zealand, with the first T20 due to take place on 27th November in Auckland. Azhar Ali has been removed as Pakistan Test captain, with limited overs leader Baba Azam replacing him in the role. That makes Azam, age 26, the Pakistan captain across all 3 formats, bringing to an end Azhar's brief second stint. In just over a year as the man at the helm in Test cricket, Ali led Pakistan in 8 Test matches, which included 2 wins against Sri Lanka and Bangladesh and 3 defeats, which led to series losses against Australia and England. That ends sports news.
Empower your dreams with NSV Wings. NSV Wings. Recharge the high goals.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The first round of promotional efforts taken to position Sri Lanka as a holiday destination amidst the pandemic has turned out successful, with the Coach Safari initiative of the Tourism Promotion Bureau becoming increasingly popular amongst international travelers. The virtual Coach Safari was the first of its kind to be launched by Sri Lanka Tourism, where the destination marketing activities was carried out entirely online. That ends business news.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The wait is over, and it's time for you to experience happiness. It's time to remap the graph for success. It's time to rebuild your empire. It's time to initiate your entrepreneur dreams. Empower your dreams with NSV Wings. Get your 2-year personal loan for just 7% per annum, starting from 500,000 rupees to 10 million rupees. All you need is just one guarantee. NSV Wings. Recharge the high goals.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The Central Bank of Sri Lanka has asked licensed banks to extend a debt moratorium to COVID-19 affected businesses and individuals for a maximum period of 6 months commencing from 1st of October 2020. Eligible borrowers may request for the moratorium on or before 30th of this month. That ends economic news.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
No, Amma. We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
Oh, really? How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy. She might be feeling very uncomfortable. The airport must be heavily crowded because it's a season.
Amma, calm down. Everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. There's nothing to worry.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Finally, on to the weather report. The Met Department says showers or thundershowers will occur tomorrow at several places in the island. Showers will occur at several places in northern and eastern provinces and in coastal areas of Hambantota districts during the morning. Heavy showers above 100 mm can be expected at some places in western, Sabragawa and central provinces and in Kovel, Mathura, Jaffna, Mullaitivu and Kilinochchi districts. That ends the weather report. To bring to an end the evening news broadcast on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines once again. The President says special attention should be paid to protect those who are infected with non-communicable diseases from COVID-19. The Committee on Parliament Business decides upon a 19-day debate of the Appropriation Bill 2021. Sri Lanka and India sign a memorandum of understanding for community development projects. A special hospital to treat infectious disease established in the northern province. Foreign news, Russia says its Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccine is 92% effective. Sports news, West Indies players unable to train in New Zealand after breaching quarantine regulations. That ends the evening news broadcast on Radio Sri Lanka.